Okay, this Maimer is really, it's a hamshech. It's a continuation from the Maimer before, and in a way there's a Maimer later that was Magia after that, was a little connected. Because these two Mamor, Pasach Liyo and Baruch, Sha'asa, ניסים. We're going to learn the Maimer Baruch, Sha'asa, ניסים. It's connected with miracles. We're soon coming into Pesach. We went from Gola, from Purim, and coming to Pesach. Really, this is a Chanukah Maimer. Chanukah Purim, the Rebbe speaks about the Kriyas Yamsuf and the Mon, all the big miracles that happen in the Jewish history that are connected with ניסים, that he speaks of the different types of ניסים. And he's going to ask the question, how come there could be many types of ניסים? That's the question of the Maimer. And he's going to come to the answer in the end of the Maimer. But we're going to a lot of other topics that he's going to mention in this Maimer, a lot of other Musagim that he's going to mention in this Maimer. That's Olim, that's Tachten, how to view it in the real way. The Rebbe explains it in this special Maimer. Very special Maimer. Okay. Baruch, Sha'asa, ניסים, Laviseinu, B'yomim, Mizman Hazeh. So the Rebbe starts, Baruch, Sha'asa, ניסים, blessed is the one that makes miracles to our forefathers in those days and in this time. So this is the Pashto touch of the words, yeah? Dub'ar, Hashem was saying, Mamar, the Ramasal Zeh, so the Rebbe, Hashem in his Maimer. This beginning says like this, the ניסים Lashon Rabim. When you say miracles in plural, Heim Neisef al ניסים Rabim is beyond the fact that it says it's many miracles, it's Gam Ribu Sugi ניסים, it's many types of miracles. It could be the same miracle happening many times. You have different types of miracles. So Lahavin, in fact, L'Shaila, on this Maimer. This is a Maimer that Rebbe gave out also, from the Rebbe Shabbos Maimer that Rebbe gave out in Yud Shvat that year in an Aleph. This was before it was printed. The Rebbe already spoke, had a Maimer on that Maimer. He didn't have it, but the Rebbe gave it out that year at Yud Shvat. So loving the Ina Riba Yischalkus will be Shtalshus. When you say plural is dafkin ishtalshus, because you could have every level is what it is, so it's not something else. So that's going to be a ina bribui. But since the source of miracles is higher than ishtalshus, which is more level, they're asking pasach liyo, like explained before in the previous Maimer pasach liyo. The source of natural conduct, is from ishtalshus. And the source of miracles comes from higher than ishtalshus. Since it's coming from higher than Shtalshlis, the question is, what is the plural, the many different levels in miracles? How could L'mayla me Shtalshlis? What Shtalshlis means that there's things evolve. L'mayla me Shtalshlis is the way he is for himself, not the way he evolves, the way he comes down from level to level. There's no levels. How could there be different levels in miracles? What's the mean that should be levels, many plural, many levels in ניסים? That's the question. Why is there so many different types of miracles? Everything comes from L'mayla Mishtalshus. So smash with that in L'mayla Mishtalshus. There's also madreges. What's the need to have it? What's the need that there should be many? Ask the question in two ways. Or why is there b'chlal many? How could there be many? And what is the second way you can learn it? What's the teichen? Why would there be a need to have many different types of miracles, levels in the miracles? What's the in it? Why do you need it? What's the need of it? How could there be, and what's the need of it?
What are the different types?
Different types you have. I mean, ניסים Boshim Teva, ניסim Shalom Teva. It's not a shayla. But the question is, why do you need it, and how could there be? Also, we have to understand. But Maimer now, obviously, you may explain this Maimer and the Rebbe Shabbos Maimer at the end. The Pirush ניסים Laviseinu, the meaning of miracles to our forefathers. He says, what is the ניסים Laviseinu? Say Taijus Laviseinu. Hey, Chochmo Bina. Chochmo Bina. That's the real fathers. They give birth to the Midas, like Im Abonim Semecha, and the Av is the Ab is Chochma, and Ima is Bina is Ima. And they give birth to Midas. The Nes from a Lashon HaRama. A Nes, a miracle is also from the Lashon of uplifting. Kamei Arim Nisi, I picked up the flag. ניסים Laviseinu HaRama V'aliyah B'chachma Bina. When we say Sha'asa ניסים Laviseinu, he uplifted Laviseinu, he's saying that he uplifted, he elevated the Chachma and Bina. It's Tzarech Bir. We have to understand. Ma'oin Aliyah B'chachma Bina. What is the concept of elevation to Chachma and Bina? We have to know first what Chachma and Bina is. Then we have to understand what's the elevation to Chachma Bina. Gam also we have to understand Maya Shaykh is that Ram believe Chachma Bina ניסים כפשוטם. What's the Shaykh is the connection of this elevation to Chachma Bina, the simple miracle? What's the connection of these two things? Because the code of the explanation this is the Sheish Anogas. The source of these two conducts is Anogativ ניסים. So Miyichul Chachma Bina. Both conducts come from Yichul Chachma Bina. We learned by Pashtus, he said that the Sheish of Anogativ comes from what? From say the Shtalshlis. And the Sheish of Anogativ is from the Maal Shtalshlis. Now he says that they both come from Chachma Bina, Yichul Chachma Bina. The fusion of Chachma Bina. Yichul Chachma Bina Shnei Inyanim. There's two types of fusions of connections of Chachma Bina. There's Zivuk Chitzein to Chachma Bina, there's external connection of Chachma Bina. In other words, in the external part of Chachma Bina they connect. Then the Zivuk Zel Todel Tzedek Kimels. This connection is constantly happening in order that the world should be able to exist. Because it's in the Asis of Chassidus it says that Chachma Bina is Ayin and Yesh. It's going to explain later in the Maamer, great length. So Chachma is Ayin and Nakuda, it's the beyond explanation. And then Bina comes with explanation. It's already a Yesh. Chachma could say it's the way the thing shines into me. I realize the idea, and then Bina is when I explain it to myself, I could explain it. It comes to my understanding. It's already a mitzvah of a Yesh. So this, from Chachma to Bina, this constant connection of Chachma to Bina, that Bina is feeding off Chachma, is a marker for the din of Yesh Me'ayin. That's why we say this. This is the source of nature, natural conduct. That there should be nature. That what's nature? So he says as it. Why is this a sheish of Anogas Teva? Why dafke Teva? That the kivin shezivuk zel tzedek kima elam is, since this connection is happening for the need of the existence of the world, that means it's for the worlds to be. So what's the conduct of the world? It's going to come from this level. Is Shakadosh Baruch Hu maning sin v'em shabeil nofi inyanam. And the Eibush is going to conduct the world and the creations of the world according to what they are. Every creation according to what its attributes, what its nature is. Why? Because it's here for the world. It's here not to express himself, so to speak. It's the Eibush is making it that there should be an actual world, and therefore every nivra is going to be according to what he is. As opposed to Hashem Anisis, is the source of the miraculous conduct. Shakadosh Baruch Hu maning saying here the Eibush is not conduct ruling the world according to what the world needs. Rather, it's according to the way he wants to. He's expressing himself. This is coming from the inner connection of Chachma Bina, the inner level of Chachma Bina, and the inner connection of Chachma Bina. Chachma Bina and the Pnimis Chachma Bina. There's Chitzenis Chachma Bina and there's Pnimis Chachma Bina. The Sviris in general, there's Chitzenis HaSviris and Pnimis HaSviris. There's the Sviris, the way they come out and being Hagdoris, they could be definitions, descriptions. Then there's the Pnimis of the Sviris that he's going to say it here, he's going to explain it very great length. There's in general shell, the Pnimis HaSviris is the Sviris the way they are mitzad Ein Sof. Not mitzad the Hagdorah. Rather, how could there be Chachma Bina mitzad Ein Sof? Ein Sof could have, Chachma could be Ein Sof, Bina could be Ein Sof. Not defined. So therefore...
Why is it called into names?
Oh, why do you have two names? Because the Eibush is, like we say in the Moshel about Svidus Ein Ketz. There's infinite amount of Svidus. So the Rebbe says in the Maamer, in a Sikha actually, Achedish Memdal, the Derech Klal says that there's the Eibush, mitzad the Eibush, there could be Svidus even different than the 10 Svidus that exist. It could be Svidus Ein Ketz. We find them Achim, we find them Achim. So the Rebbe says since Lamayel by the Eibush Ein Ketz Chosapel, the Eibush doesn't lack anything he could do, he actually does. So there is a level of Svidus Ein Ketz, of Bligvul Svidus. So the question is, why do you need Bligvul Svidus? If it's Bligvul, it's the Ma'ila Magbol, it's how can you have never then. So the Pshat, that the Pshat Svidus Ein Ketz is the Pshat, that the Ein Ketz, Zok Sechareis, and Kol Amine Yefanim, any way of existence will express this Ein Sof of the Eibishter. Yeah. Because he's Chad, so therefore V'lo B'chushmin, there's Bligvul Yefanim, how he can express himself. So that's the end of Pnimis Chachma, the Pashtus. So he's Pashtus, this is the Chur. Now he's going to explain in the Maamer this whole idea, what's Chachma Bina, the Pnimis Chachma Bina. So He says, now we'll understand the connection of ניסים לאביseinu, of miracles to our forefathers. The meaning of ניסים, elevation to Chochmah Bina. How does this connect with the Pashta Taich of ניסים Kipshutim Shini Ateva, changing nature? The Anhog of the world, the way it comes from Chochmah Bina, the way the Chochmah Bina on their own, before the Arama Keil, even how they come together in a Ziv Kasim, which means they have an impact one on another. Chochmah has an impact on Binahi and Hogativis. If it comes only from Chochmah Bina, the way they are on their own, that's going to be on Hogativis. ניסים, but if you want miracles, Shini Ateva, the transformation of nature, it's only through the elevation of Chochmah Bina, which they connect in an inner way, in which they give over the Atzmis of Chochmah to the Atzmis of Bina. Yigash, we see Ashpa Pnimis, Ashpa Chitzenis, Ashpa Atzmis. Akaponim here is going to explain what it means that there is elevation of Chochmah Bina. And what's the connection of the Zivu Pnimi of Chochmah Bina to the in of Nis. So the Pashtus, it means that if the Eibush is going to give over himself, only the external part of himself, he's going to come out nature, he's going to come out the world the way it is, nature, Teva Eilo. Mashenkin, if you want to have the world the way it is, the way the Eibush wants to make it, not the way the world conducts, that's going to be an of Nes. That's when you have an elevation, a revelation of the Pnimis of Chochmah Bina. Fine. To explain this, what's the Shaykh of the ניסים of Chochmah Bina beprotis Yeser, more in detail, you will understand. Bahagdi Mashin is born. Is to understand when we first introduce what we said in the last Maamar. What is nature? Nature means that the Eibush is running the world. That's what we call the Chagav. Teva, there's no such thing as Teva. Teva is Elokus. The Eibush is running every nature, every creation according to what it is, but it gives him its place to be what he is. That shows that this conduct, the Nevraim have Tevis Mokim, they mean something, and therefore you have to rechnen with who they are. Even though this all comes from the Eibishter. So he bebchinas das tachten shalamata yesh. This Anog Satev is in das tachten, that down here there's a yesh. Ulamayla ayin. And the Eibishter is ayin. What's the pshat das tachten? He says das tachten is shalamata yesh ulamayla ayin. That down here there's a yesh. We're here. Well, the Eibishter is ayin. The Eibishter we call ayin. Why do we call the Eibishter ayin? So there's many reasons why we call the Eibishter ayin. One reason you could say is, it says because the Eibishter is not understood. That's what we call him ayin. Not because he's ayin. If we're here, then for sure the Eibishter is here. It's not a question. Why do we call it ayin? So Chassidus, even after the Chassidus answers the answer that we say that the Eibishter called ayin because we can't understand him, Chassidus asks the question, but the Eibishter is the source of everything, and he's the real existence. We're not a real existence. We could be here today and tomorrow not here. We're ayin. So why did the Eibishter call ayin and we're yesh? And this Tachna also understands. So why does he call himself yesh and lamayla ayin? So there's two answers of Chassidus. One answer is that the mocker of the Nevraim is only or levad. Therefore we call it ayin. Lamayla ayin is because the source for creations, the Eibishter is much greater than being a source. The source that the Eibishter gives to be lowers himself down to become a source for creations is or levad. It's only a ray of Hashem. That's one explanation. Another explanation is that really the source of Nivroim is not just from a ray. It really comes from the essence of Hashem. And the essence of Hashem is not understood. So it can be Mekayim, the Pshat of Lamayla Ayin, that the Eibush is not beyond being understood. And that's the Pshat Lamata Yesh Lamayla Ayin. As opposed to Anisim, Shakash Baruch, Manik Sel Firit Sein Nevelik, Fit Chunus V'Tav Nivroim, when the Eibush conducts the world in a way, the way he wants, not according to what the nature of the creatures is. Over here we show that the Nevraim are, the Eibishter shows that the world doesn't have any tfisas mokim. Doesn't matter what it is. The Eibishter is going to do what he wants. He b'chinas das elin shalamayla yesh lamata ayin. This is rooted in das elin, which says that lamayla is the real existence is the Eibishter, and lamata down here is ayin, is not in existence. It's kaloch hashiv. It's like nothing. The yevaran and nishran is Shava Mamish. This is the opposite way of view. Do we say Lamata Yesh or Lamata Ayin? Do we say Lamata down here is a Metzias? Or Lamata is nothing? There's nothing to it. Yeval Nishval is Shava Mamish. If there is a world, there is no world, is equal. And therefore, he could make whatever he wants. Just like Misha Amal Hashem V'Yadlik. He can change everything. There's no way how things have to there's no things, therefore they don't have to, there's no way how they have to work, how they have to conduct. This, what these two opinions of Das and Das Tachten and Svidis? This is Chochma and Bina. Why do you say it's Chochma and Bina, Doctor? The Chochma nirgash, because Chochma feels, and the diuk is on the word feeling, like he's going to see in the orders over here. The Chochma nirgash she'ein sof hu yasha amiti. Chochma feels that the real existence is ein sof. The kula kamei klokshev and lagabe the Eibishter, everything is like non-existent. Which that's das alin shlomai liyesh shlomat ayin. Bina she'as soge mashen bina, which is understanding. That soge he mitzias yesh. Understanding is a yesh. He das tachten is the lower way of thinking. That the what? The lamata yesh. That she's a yesh. Lamailai, the gam shegam bebina musuk shkul kamei kolochshev aldo, also in bina navatzilus. Referring to bina vatzilus. Also knows the reality and understands it, that kul kamei kolochshev, that everything with Gabi the Eibishter is insignificant, but it ain't a nirgashba, it's not felt in her. Why? Because since understanding gam hasog the kul kamei kolochshev imitzias, even the understanding, you can understand the greatest of things. You can understand nothing is significant for the Eibishter. But that's he mitzias, that's a mitzias. Ha mitzias the hasog he heipach hahergish the kolochshev. The mitzias of understanding is against and the opposite of the feeling of kolochshev that is insignificant. He can understand that kolochshev, but he can't feel it. Like with Pashtus, we could understand any Milvade, we can't feel it. We have a hergish of mitzvah matzmusa, we have a hergish of we're independent existences. But even when we understand the opposite, we can't help ourselves. More than that, the understanding itself is the one that's standing in the way of feeling this reality. The mitzvah of understanding. Mashen Chochma is the feeling that the head of Hulavadi Bein Zilose. That Lamai Liyesh Lamatai. That's Chochma Bina, that's only that's Tacht. So now the question is a obvious question. If so, how can we say Yichud Chochma Bina is going to be sometimes a yin of Anoga Tivis and sometimes a yin of Anoga Nisis? If we say Bina is the yin of Das Tachten, Chochma is the yin of Das Elyon, and now we're saying, as we just said now, how's that fit with what we said before? That if it's going to be a Yichud Chitzeni of Chochma Bina, it's going to be Anoga Tivis. He'll be Anoga and a Yichud Pnimi of Chochma Bina, then it's going to be Anoga Nisis. How does that work? So he's going to explain now. V'hine zeh shebebinu das tachten shlamai lo ein lamata yesh. This that we say that in bin is das tachten that lamai lo ein lamata yesh. Ugam benigel am shoch shema chochma lebin. This that we say that bin is das tachten. This is true also when we speak about the am shoch from chochma to bin. Why? The chochma bin im ein v'yesh. Chochma and bin we said before is ein and yesh. We said that zivuk of yesh me'av chochma bin is the mocker for kima ilmus, which kima ilmus is this half of yesh me'ayin. That's source, that's rooted in the in of bin coming from chochma, yesh coming from ayin. That's what he says here also. His havas bin me'ach chochma im dugmas his havas yesh me'ayin. It's not mamish yesh me'ayin. We don't say the kehul avada bekeche v'yicholte, but it's compared to this idea of his havas yesh me'ayin. You see over here in the order 15, he says, this is why we find that Avo is constantly connected in order that we should exist, the world should exist. Like I said before in Sif Beis, Chochma Bina, that's Ein and Yesh in the beginning of Seder Shtalshus. If Yesh of Bina comes from Ein of Chochma, that from there comes down that also we should be created Me'ayin Liyesh. Just like Bina comes Me'ayin Liyesh, we too are going to be Me'ayin Liyesh. That's the first place in Seder Shtalshus, the Eibishter, so to speak, activate this union of Yesh Me'ayin. And there, us two are going to be Yesh Me'ayin. So he says, so even the Amshacha from Chochma to Bina is also a yin of Das Tachten. Why? Because Chochmah is the ayin of yesh of bina. So he said the kamei should be havas yesh me'ayin. Just like in the regular havas yesh me'ayin ayin ubehelam yesh. The ayin is hidden from the yesh. We don't know about the ayin. We don't know the ayin. Maybe we know that he exists, but we don't know who he is. Therefore, it's called ayin. Like you mentioned before, he's not understood to the yesh. He's hiding from the yesh. And he says more than this. This that the ayin is not understood in the yesh. It's not because the yesh is so limited, so you can't understand the ayin. Is so beyond, you can't compare it to the ayin. Therefore, he can't understand the ayin. More than that, the ayin is making the yesh in a way through hiding himself on the yesh. Shehu ayin is alima yesh. Like no, this happens. Ayin oidish hakechaliki. Ha'ayin am havas anivra yesh mis alima anivra. Like it's known that this havas yesh me'ayin. That should be a yesh existence of a world from nothing, not from nothing, from the ayin. Again, this is a very important thing to bavoran. This havas yesh me'ayin in the Pashto Taish we say something from nothing, but it's not. There's no such thing from nothing but nothing. We're saying is havas yesh me'ayin is the yesh hanivra from the Eibishter, which is ayin. So we say this havas yesh me'ayin, or ayidesh hakechel ki ayin am havas hayesh, hanivra hayesh, mis alam hanivra, the kechel ki, which is the ayin, which he creates the nivra. How does he create him? By hiding himself from the nivra. The Friedrich Rebbe once said in the Yechidus when he has the Maimer, it's not stam helm, it's helm abedim hanivra. It's the ultimate helm. So the Eibush had to hide himself, so to speak, in order that he should make the yesh. Not just the yesh doesn't lapel, understand him. The ayin has to hide himself in order that it should be this havas. So too is true when bina comes from chochmah. That's the reason why bina is a yesh. Because the ayin of chochmah hides itself from bina. So that's why we could say that it's called yesh me'ayin. Bina is called yesh me'ayin. Why is it called yesh me'ayin? Because he doesn't know chochmah. In fact, the whole understanding of bina is what chochmah had, the nekudah of chochmah. Bina masek is nekudah haskolah. Bina understands and brings down to details the nekudah haskolah. Hare, see, he answers to this question. Hare, ikra chochmah hu, what's chochmah? Hare, the chochmah shalomaylam is seichel. It's not about the understanding. It's more when he has a vision. He slikes chopas does it, or he's going to say further. The uplink is the lower level. The chochmah is he sees the future, so to speak. He sees what's going to be. Not because he can't explain it even. The inyan zayin nimshach klal b'bina, that doesn't come at all in bina. That's behelem from bina. So the ayin of chochmah, the chochmah is behelem from bina, and that's why bina is a yesh, because he doesn't have access to this in chochmah. The gam haskol the chochmah, even the haskol of chochmah shenim sheches ba'bina, even the haskol of just come in bina beikar hanochas hanefesh. Really, haskol of chochmah is hanochas hanefesh. Sleiks chop in nefesh, as this is the way things are. V'aseichel shabo urakach etzeiz. The seichel of chochmah is the chetzenis of the haskol of chochmah. Umasha musik bebina, what comes into bina? Urakach seichel shabo nekudas haskol. It's only the lowest part, the chetzenis of the seichel of the haskol of chochmah. Hachitzenis, aval hanochas shabo nekudas haskol. Apnim is the atzmi shalo. That's hidden from bina. That's higher. That's hidden. That's not understood in bina. Bina doesn't understand it. So now we'll understand why we say that das elin is in chochmah, shenken bina is das tacht. So the Bible is saying that why is it called the zivug of chochmah and bina is also das tacht, because even when chochmah becomes a mocker for bina, it's behelem from it's ayin, it's behelem, it's ein musig to bina. That's what he said the Bible. Now he's going to say to explain why das elyon is in chochmah. Now we'll understand even more why das elyon is in chochmah. Before we said why is das elyon in chochmah, because chochmah is margish that hulavadihu vein zulos. Chochmah is margish in the chochmah nirgash in sofu yesh amiti and kol kamikolochshiv. That's the hergish in chochmah. It's not just a soga of this inyan. It has also the Hargosh Seyin, it has, like it says in Tanya, in Sofu Echadam, Shula Vade Vein Zelose, Vizuhi Madreges HaChochma. What's the pshat? In Sofu Echadam, Shuhu Levadu Vein Zelose, Vizuhi Madreges HaChochma. So there's a word of Chat Shafeg, and what's pshat? Vizuhi Madreges HaChochma. It's not just that Chochma understands the reality that in Sof is the only existence, and besides nothing exists. It's more than that. The understanding of this, that is Chochmah. Not that there is a mitzvah of Chochmah which understands it. The understanding of it, that is Chochmah. The realization of this reality, that is Chochmah. Now we'll understand more why Das Elyon is Dafke and Chochmah. Masha'en came bebine, and bine is not Das Elyon. Afshe bebine musogam and yom shebechochmah. Although that bine understands the concepts of Chochmah, who Das Tachten? זה שבחוכמה, או דאס אלין שלמט העין, ההרגש דקול כמי כלוכשיב, עולה מצד השכל שבו, שהשכל הוא מציס. היפך ההרגש דקול חשיב. This that we said that Chochmah is Das Elyon, which means Lamata Ayin. What's Pshat Lamata Ayin that Kol Kamei Klochshiv doesn't come to the Seichel of Chochmah, because Seichel is a Metzias. It's Seichel is a Metzias, the opposite of the feeling of Klochshiv. Elam Mitzad Pim is a Atzim Shalosh, B'duk Misri the Chochmah, Shalom Aylam HaSeichel. How does Chochmah have this feeling that Kol Kamei Klochshiv? That's the Etzem of Chochmah, which is like Riyah the Chochmah, which is higher than Seichel. Seichel is a Metzias. Even the Seichel of Chochmah is also Metzias. Even the Zeshanim Shubha Binu Rakas Kol the Chochmah, Lechem Binu Das Tachten. Since what comes in Bina? Only Das Kol of Chochmah, therefore Bina is Das Tachten. It says even the Yichud, even what Chochmah gave to Bina, is also Das Tachten of Chochmah, so to speak. And therefore, when we say the Das Elyon is in Chochmah, is the higher, the Atzmis of Chochmah, over there you could say Das Elyon. Although Bina understands Chochmah, which level of Chochmah does it get to know? Only the Chetzenis of Chochmah, not the Pnimis of Chochmah. Now he's going to explain that this whole true reality that we said, the Zivuk of Chochmah Bina, is only Sorry, ik moet ballen aan kan hem zeggen.
Nee, het is lang buiten.
Verstehe.
Ik kan niet schuldig zijn.
Ja, ik zit zeven naar dat.
Bina, no?
He says, we been in Shchaka Seichel the Chochmah dos, we sagt this that we say that in Bina only gets the Seichel of Chochmah, Sholachena Bina Das Tachten. Therefore, we say that Bina is Das Tachten. Who b'chitzenis Bina? This is only true in the chitzenis of Bina. Chitzenis of Bina only knows about the Seichel of Chochmah, the chitzenis of Chochmah, and therefore it's Das Tachten. Avo b'pnimi is Bina, but in the inner part of Bina, Meir Gam Etzem HaChochmah. Over there is a keli even for the essence of Chochmah. By there is that, and through that, since the Etzem of Chochmah is Meir in Bina, and the Etzem of Chochmah is the Hergish of Klochashiv, there is the Gam HaBina, even Prince Das Elyon. That causes that even Bina is also Das Elyon. Ki Hergish the Klochashiv Sheba Chochmah, Meir Gam B'Bina. The reality, the feeling of everything is Klochashiv, the Gam B'Eibishter is shines in Bina. Now understand the reason why from Zivuk Pnim of Chochmah Bina comes out miracles. Das Elyon. Where does miracles come from Das Elyon? Kim Zivuk Pnim of Chochmah Bina, Amshach the Chochmah Pnim is Bina. The Zivuk Pnim of Chochmah Bina. What's that? Zivuk Pnim of Chochmah Bina, Amshach the Chochmah Pnim is Bina. When Chochmah comes to Bina. Nigrish Gam the Bina de Elyon Shalamata and the Kol Kamei Klochshiv. And that causes that also Bina feels this higher view of that Kol Kamei Klochshiv. Therefore, the conduct that comes from Zivuk Pnimi of Chochmah Bina is going to be Anoganisis, because Bina also got to know this reality the way it's in Chochmah, that Lamata Ayin, the Kol Kamei Klochshiv. So this is what he's saying over here, that the advantage of Zivuk Pnimi is that Chochmah, that Bina also gets to know the Etzem of Chochmah, which the Etzem of Chochmah, the Hergish of Kol Kamei Klochshiv, and that's why it causes the Anoganisis, the Afghan, the Zivuk Pnimi of Chochmah Bina. Anoganisis is the Pshat Das Elyon, that Lamata Ayin. And Zivuk Pnimi of Chochmah Bina is the scene that in Bina is also Nirgash, this reality of Kol Kamei Klochshiv, and therefore it's going to be Anoganisis. Melach is a Shmid Welt. David doesn't consider what the world is made up of. He does the way he wants to rule the world. Fine.
Ja. Was steht so, steht das Zivu?
Zivu means a fusion.